Welcome back to my channel, ladies and gentlemen. It is a very good morning here in Uganda. It's 5 a.m. in the morning, and we are back to designing our full stack tours and travel website from scratch. In the last video, we designed the navigation menu that takes users who are visiting our website to different pages of this very website. If you didn't watch the last video, please check out the link in the description or click here to watch it. And today we are going to design the footer. Now, what is the footer? For those of you who don't know, this is a section of the website that always appears at the bottom of the website, and this section contains a number of components. In most cases, it contains the company information like the name, the logo, and a short statement or mission statement or vision statement of the company. It also contains the address, physical address of the company, the contact details. It contains links, that point users to different pages. It contains social media contacts, social media links. Most cases it contains the newsletter sign up area where someone can sign up to get daily updates or monthly or weekly updates from your company. It contains legal and policy information like the terms of service, privacy policy, the disclaimer if you need it, the cookies policy. It also contains the copyright notice and some other optional components. For example, the language selection. It also contains some other optional components. For example, the call to action buttons, the site credits, like the person that developed or designed the website, and all of that. So that is what we are going to be creating today. So without any further ado, let's hop back to our Visual Studio Code and start creating the footer. Now for the navigation, you see we used an HTML5 elements, two of them. One was header and the other was nav, right? Now for the footer, we are going to use another HTML5 element called footer, and for that we are going to footer, and we are going to give it a class of footer. Right, now let us style this. We say for auto commenting, I am clicking Control K and C at the same time to put the comments. So I'm going to say footer styles, Control Alt downward arrow to copy to the next line, and say footer. I'm going to give it a width of 100 viewport width. I'm going to give it a padding of 2 rem. I'm going to give it to display flex, align items to the center, justify content to the center. I can also give it a background color of A1, A1, you know. So if I refresh, we are not seeing it. Why? Okay, so all right, so I'm going to give it a position, fixed, bottom 0, left 0. Now we can see it at the bottom there. Let me give it a color of, you know, same as the buttons, or maybe let me just give it a white background. Right. Now in the footer, we can choose to have like a call to action area, you know. For example, we can say call to action area, and in this area we can use the container, and we say, you know, H2, ready for your next adventure. So put an H3. Take advantage of our exclusive offer. All right, so for this call to action, we are going to style it. We are going to give it a width of 100%, a background color. We are going to give it a background color of hash 11221C. Right. We are going to give it a padding of 2 rem. We're going to display flex line items to the center and justify content to the center. So let us give a flex direction of column. We can give it a height of 250 pixels for the call to action, and then we style the container of the call to action. Container, we display flex direction column, align the items to the center and justify the content to the center. All right, and then we style the H2. we style the H2, we give it a font size of 50 pixels and a color of that kind of white, and then we style the H3. Basically, let us give it the same style. Or maybe let's give it a different font size with 30 pixels, the color of that kind of white, and then let us put a call to action button. We say btn. Remember, we give it, the styles here. We can use same styles on a global scale, like if you have buttons and call to action buttons, you can give them the same style and be used on the entire website, which is a very good practice. So here we are going to say inquire now. That is, so maybe here let us put a gap of 2 rem. There you are, so that we put gaps between there. Okay, so the next thing here, we are going to put a container, and in the container we are going to put the different components of our footer. Right, so we are going to say footer content. No, let us say footer items and footer item. In this item, we are going to put, company information, like we said. So we shall have a logo, and in our case we say TNT, right? Yes. And from here we are going to put a simple mission statement, 15. When you click on Windows machine to wrap the code in the visible space on the Visual Studio Code, you press Alt Z and it will be wrapped there like that. So maybe this is a little much, and from there we can put some social links. We say social links, social link, and here we shall say Facebook, Twitter, which is now X, we say IG, and you can put the links that you have or that you use as the company or the company you're designing for. All right, now from there, let us style this. And here you can see they are being put side by side, which is not what we want. So we are going to come here and say flex direction column, and that is it. So let us put a gap of 1 rem. Why are you using rems? When we go back up here, you can see we have font size 10 pixels. So if you use rem here, it means it is this value here times this font size. So in this case, it is 1 times 10, which is 10 pixels. All right, so footer items, we're going to give it a width of 100% and display flex wrap, and align items to the flex start. Now footer item, we are going to give it a maximum width of 250 pixels. Then we give it a width of 100%. We are going to display flex and flex direction column. This is how it looks like. And in the footer item, logo, we are going to give it a font size of 2 rem and a font weight of 600. Let us give it, the color of that. All right, and this paragraph, we give it a font size of 1.5, which is 15 pixels. All right, and here we put a gap of 0.5 rem, which is 5 pixels. And now let us style the social links. Width 100% over the parent. We give it a display of flex. We align the items to the center and give it a gap of 1 rem, like that. So social link, let's give it a width of 35 pixels and a height of the same pixels, or rather we can use the rem values and say 3.5 rem, 3.5 rem. We display it flex, align items to the center and justify the content to the center. This ensures that whatever is inside here, ensures that whatever is inside this element is in the center of that very element. So let us give it a font size of 2 rem and a border radius of 50% to make it a circle. Border 1 pixel, give it a solid color and the color of that one. All right. Okay, so we can choose to, do some uniformity and give it a color of the btn. Maybe let us give it a background color of same as the btn. Give it a color of white and transition it all 300 milliseconds is in and out. Right, so we come here and say social link, hover. This is what happens when the mouse passes over this element. So we are giving it a background color of that one and smooth. All right, now let us create another component, another footer item. Say footer item. We give it an h2 of quick links. We use a UL of links and li of link and link a. So here we shall say destinations. Copy this to the next line and say Safari ideas. Copy to the next line and say Safari activities. Copy to the next line and maybe say why choose us. All right, so this is how it looks like, and we are going to style the footer item h2 and say the font size is of 2 rem. All right, let us give it a uniform color. Now let us just leave it as pure black and style the links. We basically say width 100% and display flex direction column. Let us put a gap of 0.5 rem. Link width 100% and display to black. Link A, we give it 100%, give it a padding of 0.5 rem on the top and the bottom and the 0 on the left and right. Right, give it a font size of 1.5 rem and the color of black. All right, so footer items, give them a padding 5 rem, which is 50. Nice. Okay, so the next thing, services of the company. This item is almost the same, so let us copy this whole item to the next line and say services. Here we say tour guiding, tour guiding, we say visa assistance, we say flight booking, we say maybe hotel reservations. So this is somewhat the same, so that's why they look the same. And our last thing, our last item is a footer item, and for this one we have the contacts, our contacts, and we also use these links, link A. So here we say +256778789862621. We can also put another contact 704076547. We can put our email and say t&t@gmail.com. What else? All right, just like that. Now here we see it is going to the next line, and that is because space, we said it should wrap around, so that is why it is going to the next line. That means there is no space the other side. So I remove the padding here. Oh yes. So let me put this padding on top. On top and bottom, and left and right I put a 0. So those are our contacts. The other thing, let us put the newsletter. So here we come here and say news letter, put an H2 newsletter, we put a paragraph, subscribe our newsletter to get the latest news and updates, and we put a form. For those who don't know, we use forms to get information from the users on the front end. People who are visiting our website, we use forms to capture their information. Right. So we say that is how it looks like. Newsletter. The width is 100%. A gap is 1 rem. We display flex, and the flex direction is column. All right, and the rest is okay. We style with the form, newsletter, form, width is 100%, display flex, flex direction column, newsletter form, input, the width is 100%, the padding is 1 rem, 2 rem, the font size is 1.5 rem, just like that. Then here let's align items to flex start, just like that. And let's put a gap of 0.5 rem, which is 5 pixels like we said. And that is how our footer looks like for the time being. What else? Let us put the legal notice and the copyright information. So what we do for that, we come below here and say copyright. We put copyright, and we say p dot paragraph and copy like this. This puts the @ symbol. We are in 2025. T and T all rights reserved. We can also put the person that designed the site, all rights reserved. We can put designed by, and then we put an anchor tag here, Kajumatic. All right, and on the left we also put legal links. Let us use a UL. li legal link legal link anchor. So this one is privacy policy. And cancellation policy. Well, I don't know if this is the right spelling of cancellation, but yeah. Then terms of service, you can say terms and conditions. And maybe frequently asked questions. Okay, this is how it looks like, but that's not how we want it. So this container here, we shall come and say footer dot container flex direction column. There you go. And now copyright width 100%, displayed flex, align items to the center, justify content space between, just like that. And there we say here copyright P. You should avoid giving the same classes unless you want that component to appear exactly the same as the one above. Otherwise you'll have things distorted yourself. So we say that, and then inside we have a paragraph and an anchor tag, which we want to give a font size of 1.5 rem. Just, and the color of this one, just like that. Maybe a font weight of 600 pixels. All right, and now legal links. Is display flex, align items to the center, and give a gap of 1 rem. And this legal link plus legal link A, we give a font size of 1.5 rem. We give a color of this and a font weight of 600, just like so. Maybe let us reduce this to 400, and that is how it looks like. right, so we have a bit of a problem. Our page is not scrolling, and that is because we put this. So if we remove it, there you go. And let us put a margin top here of 5 rem. And ladies and gentlemen, this is how our footer looks like. So right here I can see there is something we need to fix, if I'm not mistaken. This, let us align it to the center. Footer items, center, right? No, not that. This is flex start. We justify the content to the center, and it is very correctly centered. All right. So with that, thank you for joining, and see you in the next video as we continue designing a tour and travel, a full stack tour and travel website from zero to a very, very dynamic website with admin areas and other interesting things. So see you in the next video. Bye bye.